Welcome to The Real in Real Estate, your gateway to the source. I'm so glad you're here. We're all about diving into the nitty-gritty of real estate, sharing insights, tips, and some awesome interviews straight from the industry's beating heart. From the latest trends to cool investment strategies, we've got you covered. Let's explore and uncover all the essential tools and knowledge you need for navigating the ever-evolving world of property and housing. Here we go. Hi, welcome back to The Real in Real Estate, where we talk about the facts in real estate and dispel some of the myths. And today I have LaTisha Grant here. She's the Professional Development Committee Advisory Committee Chair this year for HAR, Houston Association of Realtors. And so I wanted her to come on and talk to realtors about education. So welcome, LaTisha. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
Great, great. Well, why don't you just take a minute and tell everyone about yourself? How long
Yes.
have you been a realtor, et cetera, et cetera?
Oh my goodness. So that's the part that I always forget, right? Because time flies when you're having fun.
Absolutely.
So I am so again, my name is LaTisha Grant. I'm the executive managing broker for TAS Realty Group. I have been a realtor for about 15 years. Man, time goes by so fast.
Yeah, I'm
And
16 years, so I'm right there with you.
Exactly. Now, prior to that, I was a sixth grade math teacher, and just before that, I was a loan processor.
Oh, wow. So you've been in both ends of the business and a teacher. It's interesting. I
Yeah.
find a lot of realtors have teaching background.
Yes, yes. I have owned my brokerage for 13 years now, and
Fantastic.
I've been loving every minute of it. Of course, I'm a Texas Affordable Housing Specialist. This year, I have the pleasure and the honor of serving as the Professional Advisory Chair for HAR, and that has been a treat. So yeah, it's just been amazing. I'm the mother of two grown boys.
Oh,
So I
wow.
have these big men walking around here, and they're taller and bigger than I am. So that's comforting.
Well, you don't look old enough to have grown kids, but that's wonderful.
Yes, yes.
Well, how long have you been involved in the Professional Development Committee?
So I served, oh my goodness, years and years ago. I want to say I probably served on the professional development committee about 7 or 8 years ago. And
Okay.
then I came back 2 years ago onto the committee, and then I became the chair this past year. This committee, well, of course, with the background in education,
Yeah.
of course, all committees are amazing. I don't want anybody to think that anything is different, but with the background in education, you really kind of have a totally different outlook on the information that is going out to consumers and to other real estate professionals.
Yes, I was actually on that committee, I don't know how many years ago. I'm not on it now, but I'm a big believer in education, which is why I've taken so many classes and gotten designations and have all those letters behind my name because I feel like if I know more, one, I have more confidence, and two, I'm better able to help my clients.
Yes.
And I think education is a big, big, very important aspect. I did have one agent one time tell me that taking classes was for people who didn't know how to sell. And I totally, totally disagree with that. I think it makes
Mhm.
you better at all aspects of your job. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. I tell all of my agents and everybody that I come in connection with, if I take a class and I learn one thing, it makes me a better person.
Yes.
So it has nothing of, I think that what many agents do is they connect productivity with totally as the sole piece of being successful as a real estate
And
agent.
it's not.
And it's far from it. You know, what we do here as real estate professionals goes so far and beyond the end of a transaction at the closing table.
Yes.
You're making a major difference in the lives of so many individuals, and you will impact them from generations to come. So having
Absolutely.
that knowledge, it's so important. I mean, for me, I'm not a big tech girl, but I take all of these technology classes now. For me, my business is word of mouth.
Right.
So
Referral.
exactly. So having all of this technology, all of these classes, it enhances, but ultimately it's not the bulk of my business. So why do I take the classes? Because I want to be knowledgeable. I want to know what they know.
Well, yes, and even being able to have a conversation with your clients, it goes in all different directions, and it's good to have that information.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
Well, tell me, what is the main, what do you do in the advisory board? In case anyone wants to get involved in the future, tell me your
Yeah.
main goal, or what do you talk about?
Okay, so we have subcommittees now. Now we
Okay.
get into the nitty gritty, right? So we have our HAR Professional Development Board, which is the big piece. And underneath that, we have housing attainability. And I'll go back and explain each one: diversity and inclusion, TRLP alumni, and we have the business development. Me too,
Yeah,
2014.
mine was 2011.
Yes. So let's start there with the TRLP alumni.
Sure.
When you're talking about growing yourself, because this is now far beyond just your business, this is about yourself, and TRLP is that foundation to help you kind of sculpt your career as a real estate professional.
Yes.
So it is an extensive set of classes. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 10 class program in which there's
Yes.
a graduation.
Yes.
You get to know real estate professionals,
Mm-hmm.
in a way that you would not have doing a transaction. So TRLP alumni became that extension too. So you took this amazing course and you learned so much information, and then at the end it just kind of stopped. So the TRLP graduates were like, hey, we want more, we want more.
Yes.
So it's almost like, and I'm going to say this, so look, our school teachers will know exactly what I'm saying. It's an extension exercise is what the TRLP alumni is. But basically, it's the lesson after the lesson. So that's TRLP. And then there is the business management development, where they go in and they critique that business management course that HAR is now offering. It's similar to an MBA.
Oh,
MBA class, I believe it's about $600 or so. I'm not for sure exactly how much it is. But what that class does is it goes down to handling finances. How do you set up your organization? How do you set up because we're all entrepreneurs, right?
absolutely.
Regardless if you're a broker or not. So how to set all of that up. But in our professional development, we go in and we determine how do we make that better. And
Really
then
fucking-
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then housing attainability, formerly known as affordable housing. So what is needed to help promote affordable housing, which that, as we all know, I know, that sales price is consistently increasing.
It has been of late. Yes, absolutely.
When I when I bought my second house, I remember that I could have bought a nice home for $90,000, but I bought a brand new home for $126,000. Now you can't even buy a rundown home.
No, it's hard
So
to even find a townhouse or a condo at that price.
exactly, and then the monthly HOA just shoots you
Kills you.
up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's crazy.
So we talk about housing attainability and the things that you can put together to help bridge the difference or that major gap between where an individual is and where the market is.
Right.
And then, of course, diversity and inclusion, and that needs no explanation. We have
Right.
to be diverse and include all. So those are our subcommittees.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
It
Um,
is.
I wanted to ask, I'm going to take a shameless moment here. As a graduate of the TRLP, Texas Realtor Leadership Program, for those that don't know the acronym, a lot of them have gone on to leadership roles in HAR. I
Yeah.
mean, you've got one and our chairs, and I've decided that after all these years, I'm going to run for the board. So
Yeah.
anyone out there, check me out. I'm going to run for the board of directors in the small firm, and hopefully I'll win.
Me too. I'm running for medium perm.
Okay. Well,
Hopefully
good.
we win.
I'll vote for you. You vote for me.
That's right. I definitely will do. To
Oh,
be
that's
honest, and
fabulous.
let's just have that conversation. It's always a pleasure to work with individuals that you do respect,
Absolutely.
and admire in this industry. So when I saw you on there, I was like, oh yeah, I already know. I already know.
Well, and one of the reasons I do this podcast is for education purposes because there's so many people out there and there's so many realtors, whether they're new, which if you're new, please watch these podcasts. They're very informative. And if you're not new to the business, you might learn something you didn't know. Like when we talked
Mhm.
about flood insurance, I learned things that I had not known before, and I thought I knew a lot about it. So
Yeah,
anyway, talking about education again.
yeah.
Um, what would let's do that. As a new agent, I know what I recommend to my agents to start their education. What do you think are some of the best classes or best directions for new agents to go to become better agents?
I am so glad that you asked. I use in my brokerage, I use HAR as a resource. I want my agents to get acclimated to going on to HAR/education and signing up for as many classes as they can. The very, very first class is, of course, the orientation, and that's where we
Yes.
start. And then we go into the brand you. Then, of course, it is, and I always mix up the class, but I believe it's Matrix 1 and 2, but they may
Yeah.
have some other name now. But for one, you need to understand and know that this is your business, not mine. This is your business,
Right.
right? So
Right.
that's the brand you. And then you need to understand how to work in your business. So we start with getting an orientation on HAR as a whole. Then we move into branding ourselves. And then we move into understanding how to utilize the tools that are provided to us as real estate
It's very,
professionals.
very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you don't know how to set up a search in Matrix, I had an agent, and it's funny. I had an agent that said to me, "Well, I'm ready to start making money," and I said, you can't make money unless you know how to perform the activities. So
Yes,
let's get the activities down first, and then the money will come.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I blame HGTV.
Huh?
I blame HGTV.
Oh, yes. 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 You just have to show them 3 houses and they're going to make a decision, right? No. You show them as many houses as you need to show them before they make, and hopefully you're refining that along the way. But
Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
HGTV is fun to watch, but there's so much more to our jobs than what you see on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Another thing I try to encourage people to do is, and this is what I did when I started because I thought, well, I'm brand new. I need to know more. I have to have all these credit hours. Maybe if I had something behind my name, a designation. So I got the GRI. It's extremely informative. I really loved all of those classes. There are 3 classes. It gave me a designation. And I was always told that's kind of like getting an MBA also. Um, in your process of becoming a better agent. And I thought that was just wonderful. It's not free, but
Mhm.
it was invaluable. I learned so much in those classes. How do you feel
Yes,
about that?
I agree. So I've heard some of the similar things that we had talked about prior to starting. Oh, well, why are you taking that class? So I was a Texas Affordable Housing Specialist before I was certified as a Texas Affordable Housing Specialist. But I took the class because I thought the designation was important.
Absolutely.
Um, in the class, I did learn maybe a couple of things about structure that I was not actually performing, but the connection between myself and the other agents in the class, because I do in person. I am an in-person kind of girl,
Me
right? I'll
too.
do
I prefer.
me
Yeah.
too. Because those connections that you make in the class, there's no way you can do that via Zoom.
No, no.
Right. People are so distracted at either rate. But I totally agree. So just because you're already functioning in a specific area doesn't mean that you can't learn anything. And then number two, how does the world know that you're
It's,
proficient in that
don't be a secret
particular?
agent in any
Yeah,
aspect.
that's right. So then we talk right now ABR, and hopefully it's
Yes.
still free, but ABR is free. Now, ironically enough, I had never taken ABR. But I am signed up to take ABR
Good.
because although I'm a big proponent of being educated, I had never listed, all of these, letters and all of that behind me. But in today's world, with social media being so prevalent, I think that it's
Yes.
important that we identify ourselves and who we are. And some consumers go online and just perform a search
Oh,
for an
absolutely.
agent. Right. So if that's the case, why not put yourself in a position where it's easier to be found? Take the class.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and you know what? Those of us that do take classes and believe in education, we work hard to get those. I'm putting them there, and I'm happy to tell people what they stand for, what they mean, and I'm not, I've got no problem with it.
Yes, exactly. Neither do I.
How can how can someone get more involved with HAR? I know you're in one aspect of it, but what if they wanted to, I mean, can they can call up the professional development department and say, "Hey, what do you recommend for classes?" Or they could contact anyone on the committee, I assume, right? If they're not sure.
Absolutely, they can do that. They can do that. They can also on HAR, and I'm so proud of our organization.
It's
You
amazing.
it is. If you can think it, it's there.
Yeah.
So, right, the fact that there's a chat, you can go online and go onto your HAR and start a chat. The chat button is, and it's right up on my screen right now. It's at the bottom right hand corner. Click chat and ask any question that you need to ask. Reach out, of course, to the professional development advisory group. Reach out to Rita, Ronnie. Anyone would be more than happy to assist you and direct you. But we also need you to get involved. So
Yes.
when November rolls around, no, October, November, the end of the fourth quarter, when the fourth quarter rolls around and you get that notification that says apply. Pick your favorite committee and just join that committee so that you can get more involved and create a different level of understanding. Because until you're at that place, there's going to be a lot of things that you still don't understand why it's being done this way, why it's not
Right.
being done that way. Yeah,
And maybe we need you on those committees to ask those questions because a lot of times things are done a certain way until you go, wait a minute, does that make sense? If someone asks that question, it may need to be reevaluated.
that is absolutely correct. And we have that on my committee. In the committee, someone was saying, well, why would this be beneficial to me? I have an MBA. And I'm like, you know what? That is an amazing question.
Mm.
So now what I need you to do is I need you to examine it and figure out how to make this class relevant to you. And
Absolutely.
I thought that was probably one of the best questions that we had.
That's wonderful. All right, well, let's go back to the classes. What you've got started now, you've got your matrix, your code of ethics, that sort of thing. But it doesn't hurt to go back and take that code of ethics class periodically, people. That's really a good idea, I think. Do you agree?
I do too. I absolutely do agree. Um, we talk about these issues that we have from professional to professional. And many of the issues that we have professional to professional is ethics.
Mm.
It's an ethical issue.
Yeah.
And maybe that other professionals just isn't abreast as to what to do, not necessarily meaning that they don't want to do the right thing. They just may not know. So
Right.
it doesn't hurt to do it as often as you feel fit, you see fit. If
Yeah.
you're having a challenge with the other side, in most of my transactions, there's been a few where we've had an issue from one side to the other side. And I feel like the other side is treating this transaction as if we are not on the same team.
Yeah. It's much better to collaborate than to be a vicious competitor, in my opinion, but we have all different kinds of negotiators out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just not enthusiastic about working with that negotiator that feels like we're out to get them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just not excited about that.
And you know what? I just thought, let me clarify when I said collaborate. That doesn't mean we're talking behind the scenes trying to work something out. Um, well, as realtors, we do talk, but everything goes through our clients. By collaborate, I mean work in a professional manner, work with some manners would be
Oh
nice.
my goodness,
I
that
mean,
would be
we are
nice.
trying to take care of our client and you're trying to take care of your client. That doesn't mean that we have to be vicious towards one another. That's what I meant by collaborate.
That's right. That's right. We all have a need. So of course the seller wants to sell the home at the best price. The buyer wants to purchase the home at the best price. If the seller just isn't going to budge, they're just not going to budge. And I think that's pretty simple.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of, there's a class on negotiations, people. If you don't know that
Absolutely.
out there, I really suggest you take it. Again, that's a very good, it's a very important thing for people to want in a realtor, negotiation skills. And you may have had years of experience at it, but I bet you're going to learn something if you take that class.
Yeah, that is correct. And if you take it a second time, you'll learn something different.
Yeah, you know what? It's like watching a movie. Every time you see the movie, you go, I don't remember that from the last time. I didn't see that. Now I get to see it.
That's right. That's right. That's what makes this so special. And you know, not to mention, this industry is evolving daily.
Absolutely.
So just because I took it 5 years ago, you know, I may want to take it again
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
and learn
that's
something else.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Anytime you want to continue to improve yourself is amazing, I think.
I do
Well,
too.
what else have we not talked about so far that you'd like to talk about? The advisory board or education in general for realtors?
Yes. So what I'd also like to talk about is the webinar.
Okay.
So I don't know if everyone is familiar that HAR, and I would say just about weekly, they're offering free webinars that are also streamed over to YouTube. So again, if there's something that you don't understand how to do, something that you're confused on, or a technique, there is a prospecting with pennies class. I saw that and I thought, you
What?
know, I know it was amazing. So just the thought that not all prospecting is expensive. So there's an opportunity for you as an agent to take this prospecting with pennies class, and sure enough, it's probably now on YouTube. The other part is if you sign at bare minimum sign up for one of these free classes. If it is a free class, you at bare minimum sign up for it, then you'll get the recording of the
Perfect.
class
Yeah,
after the class, even if you're, because we're busy, right? And
absolutely.
hopefully we're all busy. And if that is indeed the case, you may be in the car while the class is rolling, or you may be getting dressed while the class is on. Having that recording sent to you is an opportunity to, again, like you said, catch those things that you may have missed
Right.
during that class time.
That's when I listen to podcasts in the car because you can only listen to the same song so many times while you're driving. I need something new. So podcasts have
Absolutely.
become a big part of my driving life.
Yes, me too. And at the gym. That's another great place that I have listened to. I've signed up for the Ninja Nine.
Selling. Yeah,
Yes, they have a great podcast as well. I signed up for that and I listen to that while I'm at the gym. And when you're on that treadmill and it gets hard to make it through, and then all of a sudden they start talking about something good, you
right.
just don't get off.
I know you stop thinking about what it is you're doing and start listening and you
Yes.
know 30 minutes later, okay, that was good.
Yes, yes, exactly. Between those, so those things also, if you have interest in commercial, if you have interest in property management, they have series for each of these.
That's
So it
wonderful.
gives you an opportunity to view, hear, um, talk about an area that you are interested in diving in without actually being in it, to see if it's something that you want to do.
That's
So
great.
I love those webinars.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we are getting close to time here. So, any last words of wisdom?
Look, I can talk all day, so
Well, again, anything that we didn't cover you would like to point out.
yes, one of the things that, again, we kind of covered this, but we did not say it. Never stop learning.
Thank you.
This industry is evolving daily, and you do not want to be left behind.
Mm-mm.
Chat GPT will not give you all of the tools that
No,
you need to be successful.
it
And
will
if
not.
you put in trash, you get out trash.
Yeah, this is true. And there's a program webinar today and on July 9th about so many of the changes that are coming up. So please, everybody out there, sign up for one of those.
Absolutely. Absolutely agreed.
Well, thank you so much, LaTisha, for coming on. We will have some contact information for you in the podcast, but if anyone has a question, is there an easy way to reach you?
It sure is. I spend most of my time here at the office. So my
Okay.
office line is 713-929-3411. That's 713-929-3411. And of course, you can follow me on all social media platforms. My personal is LaTisha Grant on Instagram and on Facebook. And my office cell is 832-528-5706. So look forward to connecting with you guys. And thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing.
Oh, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to do that. I really appreciate it. Thanks again,
Definitely.
LaTisha, and good luck with the committee.
Same. And no, good congratulations on small firm.
Oh, well, you too. Hopefully people will find us on this podcast and go, hey, those girls are smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for tuning in to The Real in Real Estate, your gateway to the source. Be sure not to miss our upcoming episodes loaded with fantastic insights, expert tips, and all the latest trends in the property scene. Don't forget to stay connected with us on our Trilogy Realty Group socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and even TikTok. Until next time, take care.